Hello, my name is Micaela Espinosa, and today I'm going to demonstrate a comprehension strategy called story maps. This strategy helps the students to identify and organize the most important parts of a narrative, including the characters, the settings, the problem, the events, and the solution. And story maps are especially useful in social studies because they allow students to understand a complex historical event through the lens of personal stories. And for this demonstration, I will be using the theme of immigration, and I will show you how to use this strategy adapted to primary, elementary, and middle grades. So a story map is a graphic organizer, and it allows the student to break down the story into clear and visual parts. For example, the younger students, they can draw or label pictures, and then older students, they can analyze causes, effects, and like the lesson learned. They also are really benefits to comprehension and to support English language learners because they can use visual, and they also encourage all the students to make meaningful connections with the story. So for my primary students, I use the book My Name is Sangoel, which is a story about a boy who immigrates from Sudan to the United States. At this level, students use a really simple story map, which the idea is that we can draw the story map in the whiteboard, and we can complete it all together by asking these questions at the whole group. It's a really simple story map. It just have the who, the where, and the what happened. And in this case, the who will be Sangoel, the where will be United States, and the what happened is that he had some trouble adjusting to the new school because people couldn't pronounce his name. And some of the questions that I would like to be asking is that what country was Sangoel from? So we can recall the story while we are speaking all together and while we are completing the story map. The inferential question that I will be asking, it will be, why did Sangoel feel different at the school? So this is important also for reconnecting with the feelings that each one is having. And like the evaluative question will be, how would you feel if you have to move to a new country? Which is also a really important question because it will connect, it will make conversation in the class. And then for my elementary grades, I choose If Your Name Was Changed at Ellis Island. This is a non-fictional text that explains the experiences of immigrants arriving to the United States in the early 1900s. At this level, the story maps are a little more complex. They can add more information, and in this case, we add, besides of the character and the setting, we also add the beginning, the middle, and the end. So we will be recalling the story and coming back to complete the section of the story map by groups. The idea is that we can make conversation by groups, and they can be completing the story map. So in this case, for example, the beginning will be the families traveling by ship. The middle will be the immigrants that they were inspecting in Ellis Island. And the end is that many of them, they start living their lives in the United States. And some of the questions that I will be asking is, for example, where the most immigrants arrived when they came to the United States. That in this case, it will be Ellis Island, so we will be also recalling the story. And the inferential question will be, why were names changing sometimes in Ellis Island? And the evaluative one will be, do you think that it was fair to someone change their name, and why or why not? So we are going to be connecting with the emotions too. And then for my middle class, I choose the young version of the Enrique's Journey. This is a text that talks about a boy who travels from Honduras to United States. And in these story maps, the students are more advanced, so they have to include also the causes, the challenge, and the lesson learned, also as the title and the character. They will be having like multiple places to be completing all the information that they need, and also recalling the story all the time, and being able to use the conversation as they are completing the story map. The idea is to do this activity individual, so they can be showing how they pay attention to the story. So for this one, the questions that I would like to be asking will be, from which country did Enrique begin his journey? What challenges did Enrique face while he was traveling? This is going to be also part of the story map, so they are going to be adding this information into the story map. And the last one will be, what does Enrique's study teach us about immigration today? So in this demonstration, I show you how to adapt the story maps into primary, elementary, and middle school. And I show you how the theme immigration can be explored also. These story maps give the students a tool to organize the information and improve the comprehension and connect the personal feelings and stories with the historical events. So these strategies support diverse learnings, encourage critical thinking, and also foster the empathy. So thank you so much for watching.